Good afternoon, everybody. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of an unboxing. Hopefully you can see that here. There you go. Just making sure. So, this is the season where a lot of people who engage in gardening as a hobby basically live and die by their seed catalogs, since there's, at least in our more northern growing zones, there's not a whole lot to do during this portion of the season. So, as a result of that, I of course ordered some seeds because I can't resist, and I figured I'd bring you along to see what we got. Get this box opened up. Alright, now, this order came from Johnny's Select Seeds. I like Johnny's. I've ordered from them in the past, and my experience with them has been pretty good so far. And this isn't that many seeds, thankfully, because I have a bunch left over from previous seasons. That was probably louder than I thought it was, because the microphone is over there today. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Alright, I have a few seed packets. Probably more than I seem to remember ordering. Oh joy, that is a lot of seeds. Wow. That's the biggest seed packet I think I've ever seen. I wanted to have some extra borage seeds to share. I underestimated how many seeds this would be. According to this, I have 1/4 pound of seeds, and seeds per pound for borage is, well, a little over 23,000. So I think I have an adequate supply here. I should have roughly, what, almost 6,000 seeds here. With a 96% germination rate, I think I'm going to be good to go to share these. So I hope my friends want some borage seeds, because I have a few to spare. Let's start with borage, since that's the one I have here in my hand. I like edible flowers. I like using different, because I grow mainly for the purposes of having an edible garden. I want to have, vegetables and fruits and berries, and I mean, those are fruits, but you get the point. I'm not big on flowers for their own sake. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, mind you. I just personally don't do a lot of ornamental or flowers, unless it's for bees. Borage is a favorite of bees, and also the flowers are edible. They're supposed to taste a bit like cucumber. The flowers are fuzzy, which is kind of an interesting thing. I didn't taste any last year. I did buy a borage plant from a local nursery, and it got, this big or so. It was decent size, probably about that tall. Put out lots of flowers. The bees did seem to like it, so I figured I'd grow some more. I like to be bee-friendly around here. So, anyway, I have so many borage seeds now that that's a big seed packet. For reference, this is a regular seed packet. This is a huge seed packet. So that's borage. Let's see, I'm going to split these up into flowers and not flowers, because I know I just went on this big thing about saying I don't plant a lot of flowers for the sake of flowers, and then here's flowers for the sake of flowers, and here's flowers for the sake of flowers, and yeah, maybe I'm just a liar. I don't know what my problem is. Anyway, let me split these up real quick. So I've got some Delft Blue Nigella, I have Queenie Red Lime Zinnias, I've got some sunflowers, I've got... Are these different? Did I buy 2 of these? These are different. What are these? Single stem. Oh, Pro-Cut. Oh! I don't know if I did that on purpose. Anyway, there's 2 different kinds of sunflowers there. Bergamot. There's that. Another flower that is edible, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. I think this is edible. Don't take my word on that until we have a chance to actually verify. So let's see here. Got some cabbage and some Hungarian hot wax peppers. Also got some calendula. I know that one's edible. And some alyssum, which is not edible, but it's another one that the bees love. Maybe it is edible. I don't remember anymore. I'm going to have to check that. Okay, anyway, so flowers, that's all flowers. This is vegetables and fruits. And then these are technically flowers and flowers and fruits. And we'll cover the fruit bit there because that's actually kind of confusing. So, we covered borage. That's a flower. It's also edible. Let's go to bergamot. This is another one that bees and other pollinators quite like. I think this one's a favorite of some butterfly species in the area as well. I wanted to give it a try. So I'm going to grow some bergamot. I know that bees do enjoy this, so again, bee friendly. Editing John here. Bergamot is technically edible. It's used in teas, and the oils have different medicinal properties. But other than that, it's not like it's one that you would commonly, just eat the leaves and whatnot from. It is also known as bee balm, not surprisingly. Queenie red lime zinnias. So this is going to be my first attempt at growing zinnias, or really, this is pretty much my first attempt at growing an ornamental flower just for the purposes of it being ornamental. I've bought planters and things that had flowers in them in the past, but Queenie red zinnias, I'm going to be trying to grow these from seed. And the goal here is that these grow into flowers that are a very interesting color. They're like a blush of red to green. That's why they're called red lime. So as you can imagine, they're red and also lime colored, and they just kind of blush through that. And the zinnias make nice little flowers. So I'm hoping that these do well. I've never tried this before, so this is a bit of an experiment. For the zinnias, they are not generally considered edible. I wouldn't eat them. However, butterflies and hummingbirds like them very much. So that is one reason to companion plant with them. Just kind of interplant them throughout the garden, and that will help with deterring pests such as whitefly. Good to know. Delft Blue Nigella. And this kind of ties back into the Queenie red lime zinnia thing. These look almost antique, like you were making flowers out of tissue paper for like a wedding wishing well sort of thing back in the day when people did that sort of thing still. I haven't seen one of those in a long time, but anyway, if you make flowers out of tissue paper, this is a whole thing, like a craft, you end up with these very like pastel-y, soft looking flowers that they just appear to, I think the color scheme is considered antique. So anyway, these sort of play to that, and so do the Delft Blue Nigellas, because these come out a kind of grayish blue, almost silver color. And this is another one where I don't believe these are edible, but maybe they are, because again, I don't remember anymore. I was really hoping it would say on the back of the package here. It doesn't. So anyway, I'll have to look into that, but this is something I'm going to try. I'm going to try growing several different ornamental flowers just for the purposes of having flowers and to be bee friendly and whatnot, and I'm hoping that these play out well. The Delft Blue Nigella has an interesting seed pod. Some people harvest them specifically for what the seed pods look like because they're very interesting looking. Delft Blue Nigella is not edible, so don't eat it. That brings me to Orange Flash Calendula. Now, calendula is, I was confident about this before, but now I'm not. I'm pretty sure calendula is calendula? Yes, calendula is edible. Okay, there we go. Yeah. You're not supposed to eat according to the back of the package here, you're not supposed to eat the calyx, and you're not supposed to eat the flower centers, but the petals for calendula are edible, and these are like these are nice bright color flowers, so I figured this might go well in a couple other spots of the garden where the antique look doesn't play out as well, and this I was going to use in tandem with my sunflower seeds here to hopefully come up with something that is very vibrant for the front yard. I'm trying to do just like a little display, I guess, for lack of a better term. I don't have a pot to put it in, so it's just going to be something that grows in our little like flower bed in the front. So anyway, calendula, and again, you can eat the flowers, and it does say you can eat the flowers here. So, okay.
Calendula, in this specific case, orange flash calendula, is edible. The florets of the flowers, specifically, and the leaves. The leaves are not generally considered tasty, but you can eat them. So, just a heads up.
Moving on. I bought some sweet alyssum. Now this is white alyssum, this specific variety, which is Lobularia maritima. This is a plant that only gets about this tall, and it spreads like a carpet through your garden. It's excellent as a border plant. I had some of the royal carpet alyssum planted last year, which are very tiny little purple to like a lavender to white flower that kind of variegated as what color the blooms are. But I quite liked them. Again, it's a favorite of bees. You're going to see a theme here. I like bees. Bees are one of my favorite bugs. And in fact, my favorite insect of all time is carpenter bees because it's a native pollinator. And also, I like how derpy they are. So this is a single ounce of alyssum seeds. Alyssum seeds are extremely small. Like they are not microscopic, but they are very, very, very small. And I have an ounce of them. Now, according to this, a pound of these seeds is over 1 million seeds. And I have an ounce. So, I have over 100,000, no, not quite. I have like 60 to 70,000 seeds here. I intend to share this as well, because again, who needs this much alyssum seed? I mean, unless you're like growing it, commercially or something. You don't generally need this much, but I like to share. So, anyway, sweet alyssum. I quite like how these look. They're just very small and delicate, and I like that about them.
Editing John here again. Specifically, the cultivar that we're referring to today is sweet alyssum, also known as Lobularia maritima, and that is edible. Pretty much all of the plant is edible. I don't know why you'd want to eat it. I've never heard of anybody eating it, but you can, just so we're clear.
All right, let's move on to the two different sunflowers that I bought for this year. Now, I got two of them here. I've got red F1 Pro Cuts, which is a hybrid single stem sunflower, and I have the plum F1 Pro Cuts, which is also a hybrid variety. I like these because of the colors. These are supposed to be obviously red and plum colored specifically. These grow to be pretty tall because, again, they're sunflowers, and because they're single stem sunflowers, these are not the kind that generally grow, because there's two different kinds of sunflowers. You get the kind that grows one big flower stalk, right? Big head. And then you have the other kind that's more, not really a bush, but it comes off with several branches, and the branches all have smaller sunflowers on them. I have no problem with either kind. Last year I grew some, I forget what variety it was specifically, but I did grow some sunflowers last year, and of the 9 sunflowers that I grew, 2 of them survived. Something cut I want to say it looked like it was cut the stems, and it made the stems like sag, and then they grew upright after the cut. It was interesting. I don't know what happened. If maybe it was some sort of like borer or something, but when I took the plants that were diseased out and looked at them, there was no bugs or anything living inside of them. So I could not tell you what the actual problem was. I suspect that chipmunks or something nibbled on them when they were very small, and that caused weakness. It could have been a bug as well. If it was a bug, I never found the bug, and the symptoms of the issue were not really reminiscent of most sunflower species that I've seen pictures of damage of. So I don't know what the problem was. But anyway, I'm hoping that these do well. So these are going to grow again in the front yard, and I'm going to pair these with the orange flash calendula, possibly the zinnias. I'm not sure on that yet. And everything's just going to grow and be nice and big right around the light post that we have up in the front yard. And I'm hoping that it's a nice little showy display, like a little pop of color, because our house is white with black accents, so it's not It's not very colorful. So I'm going to try to do something about that, and hopefully this goes well. Yeah. So that's what these are for. You can also eat the seeds if you want. Drying sunflowers is a very simple thing. If people are interested, I can cover how to do that too. The two that I was able to harvest are currently hanging in my shed, drying. They're probably dry by now, honestly. All right, and that brings me to, that's it, right? Okay. That brings me to the last two things here. I have the green cabbage Promise. It's an F1 hybrid. This is a head of cabbage that's supposed to be very easily stored for a good length of time. I'm going to attempt to grow this and see what I get. I'd like to try to make some sauerkraut, actually. So, here's hoping that that plays out well. I've never grown cabbage before, so it'll be interesting. I'm excited about this last one. This is Hungarian hot wax peppers. Now, these are a type of hot pepper. They're not that hot, honestly. I wanted to get these because this is Johnny's improved cultivar, basically. They've got it so that it's stable, and I'm going to give it a try. I have not had a whole lot of luck with Hungarian hot wax peppers in the past, but having read why they went through this project to develop their own improved cultivar, I think I might understand why I was having some issues. I think the variety that I had just wasn't up to snuff. Well, this should be better. So I am really hoping that this does well. I'm a pepperhead. I love peppers, and this being not terribly hot in the scheme of things, because like my favorite pepper currently is ghost pepper, so it's decently spicy. That's above and beyond what most people would be comfortable with. But this is not like that, and so because of that, my wife might actually be able to enjoy these. Here's hoping. Jalapenos even are a bit too hot for her, so we'll see. I don't remember exactly offhand how hot these can get, but considering that they're going to be in the garden with things like ghost peppers and whatnot, we'll just have to kind of see how it turns out. So, that is my seed haul from Johnny's today. So, hopefully you enjoyed that. If you'd like more information on any of these varieties, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and until we talk again. That is a ridiculous size seed packet, by the way. Just. What? What? Anyway, borage. Might as well start with that, I guess. Borage is good for bees. It's also an edible flower. I like using edible flowers, I should say. I did not mean for that to sound that way. Let's try that again. So, that is my... try that again. Hi, Pearl. Hi. What's up, miss? Aw, you're a sweet girl. Yes, you are.